Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. So glad you're here. Today I'm sharing a progress report on the update of my craft room. I had mentioned to you guys that I would share a little bit of an update where I'm at and some of the progress I've been making. I thought it might be interesting. I had a video clip back in the beginning of working on this room. I was going in a different direction than I am now, and I had different plans and ideas. So I think I will share that clip with you guys first. It might be interesting for some of you who struggle. I can struggle sometimes. It doesn't always just come together as I want it to. So I think I will share with you guys that clip of that video that I created first. I think I filmed it back in possibly last fall or last winter. And if you guys hear singing and music in the background, we're all quarantined at home and my daughter is here singing it up downstairs. So anyway, I think I will go ahead first and share that clip with you guys so you can get an idea of where I thought I was going, and then I will continue on with where I'm at now. So you guys, the lighting is not that great right now because it's night, but I wanted to give you an idea of where I'm at with my craft room. I haven't shared any footage yet, so I thought I'd better document where I'm at and how I decide to come along with it a little bit. Right now it is pretty bare. I've carried up some things and I'm trying to make use of some furniture pieces that I already have in my house, like that white cabinet there. I'm not sure if that's going to stay or not, but for now it's sitting in here. So for now I just painted my room yellow. For those of you who are part of my channel, you know that one of my biggest loves is our VW bus 1979, and I really want to carry that feeling into this room. I really want to try to mix a new modern boho style with a vintage 1970s feeling. When I walk in this room in the dead of winter, I want it to feel like I'm walking into my bus, which is green and mustard yellow, avocado green and mustard yellow. So that's what I'm going for in here. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I am so excited about it. So this is the room. It is on the second story of our home, and we have a Cape Cod style house, so the walls are dipped, you know, the ceiling slants down a little bit, so I really only have a couple full walls, one of them being that one. There's a little bit of space for a bookshelf here on this wall, and then this wall I'm planning on getting a bookcase for, and then here I'm going to use some of those wire cube storage that I actually have on the way from Amazon right now. So everything about this craft room is on a very strict budget. So everything is thrifted for the most part. Items I've already had that I'm going to refurbish a little bit, or items from my mom. Like my mom gave me this wire rack. It's an old chip rack from a gas station, but I'm struggling to know how to use it. So I don't know if this piece is going to stay or not, which is such a bummer because it's so much fun. It would be great if I found something that would fit in this shelving unit, but I can't have something take up this much space in my room if it's not fully functional. If I were going to use this, I need whatever is in there to be something I use on a daily basis. It can't just be random items that I don't reach for all the time. Otherwise, it's not functioning the best for me. I like to have things at an arm's reach that I'm constantly using, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure about that piece yet, which really bums me out. I have to keep the window unit in this window. It gets so hot up here. Right now it still has some of my daughter's pieces up there. This was my youngest daughter's bedroom, but she moved into her older sister's old room when she moved into her apartment. So we switched everything around. That is just an old valance I had found at Goodwill, and I originally had bought it to cut up the doily pieces, but I think it looks pretty boho, so for now it's staying up there. I also had found that little vintage typing table at Goodwill, and that I spray painted gray. I want to make the furniture gray and also white. So that is gray. This is a big 6-foot table that my mom gave me. It's a really nice heavy duty one, and I want this to be my main craft desk. Right now it doesn't look like a craft desk, but I'm hoping that it will. I think it'll be great to have that much space, and maybe I can do something on the underneath. We'll see what happens with that. I'm also thinking it would be a lot of fun if I could find some kind of contact paper that maybe has a wood pattern, and then this and my standing desk could match. This is my filming station. At least I'm planning on this being my filming station so far. One of my big struggles has always been hauling my filming lights in and out of my room. It's always frustrating, and it would be so great if my sweet dear husband, he's not too excited about it, but I would love to hang my light boxes from the ceiling or get some kind of light set up that can just stay in place like other YouTubers have that I am just envious of. But I do enjoy filming at this desk. Whatever contact paper I get for my gray table, I want to get for this as well. Even though I struggle with this desk because it has a dip here in the center with the way the desk was made. So I don't know about that either. If I could get some kind of new top to go across it, that would be nice, but we'll have to see what happens with that. So that is my room for right now. Let me show you how I'm starting to store my fabric. If you notice, there is no closet in this room, and that is because it is right outside this door. Okay, so it's really hard to get a glimpse of this, but you can tell that the closet doors are off. They have been for quite some time because it broke and it needs replaced, but I actually really like it that way. And I have decided to hang up all of my fabrics so I could see what I have. For those of you who aren't part of my channel or are new, I have an Etsy shop and I sell monthly junk journal collections, and I go through a lot of fabric and I need a lot of fabric options depending on the theme for the month. I don't need this many fabric options. I will be honest, as I was moving this up from the basement, I realized, yeah, I have a little bit of a fabric addiction, but I have quit buying it. I will tell you that. Oh, we have some electrical issues as well. My husband is trying to sort out for me. But let me try to get a better overview here. So the main big fabrics, I've just kind of sorted by color here in the main section of the closet, which I really like. I love how I can see everything. And then I have a metal shelf down here that has some lace curtain panels. I have burlap down here, and then I have a really big basket down here that's holding some curtain panels, and then I have some quilts. That looks really messy. There's a couple items that I have only for the trim on them. So I'm going to cut the trim off, and then I can get rid of whatever piece that is that I don't really want the fabric for. So I am really excited for this. And then this bookcase here is holding other things. I'm not finished organizing it. This is just kind of stuck up there for now, but I have a basket with some saris and things up in this top basket. This one has some Christmas fabric in it. This is just kind of a mismatch of things right now. A bunch of embroidered type linens and pillowcases. I love these so much, and I definitely love using them in journals. So yeah, this is kind of an addiction for me. But I've slowed down on buying things like embroidered pillowcases and things. But I love the ones that have hand-stitched lace on the edges. They're just so pretty and so great to make journals out of. Down here I have mostly vintage fabric that is colorful. That's just kind of how I think about that shelf. And then I have my mustard yellow and avocado green fabrics that I love so much. Also 1970s and some, I think there's a couple 80s in there of those kitchen calendars. Oh my gosh, I love those. And then I have like muslin pieces, also a great thing to save if you take apart your curtains, like vintage curtains, if you're using the fabric, there's usually some muslin type material on the back side of there. I always save that. So that's mostly that. And then I have like table linen because I love tea staining linen and using those items for my journals as well. So right now, that is everything I have going on. And if you turn this way, you can see that we are back in my room. So the direction that I ended up going was much different. The setup is really the same, but my color palette and ideas for decorating my room, that's what's quite a bit different. I just had to go back to what I do. For those of you who would like to see the previous craft room that I have a couple tours up on my channel. I will link those down below. If you're interested, go ahead and check those out. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you my progress and again, tell you a little bit of where I'm headed. So coming in from that fabric closet that I shared with you in the previous video, and it's messy today, guys. I'm not even panning down because if any of you have lots of fabric like me, you know what can happen when it just like piles outside of our space. So forgive me for the shakiness. I'm holding onto my camera. So coming in, this is the door to my room. And I probably mentioned it in the previous video. I didn't go back and watch that I have a Cape Cod style house, and this room has ceilings. You know, I don't have a lot of full wall spaces. It's a great size room, but I have a lot of half walls. So I had to find a way to make that work for furniture and things. So updates. I painted the walls a vanilla color. That yellow was too much. I couldn't handle it. I actually moved into this room with it yellow. It had to change. So I decided to go white. And then I was trying to add those yellows and greens in decor. And I had actually started by painting some of my furniture pieces gray and just going neutral. But I just, in the end, decided that my craft space needed to have my favorite colors in it or I just couldn't be inspired. Something I learned was those colors that I love, those vintage greens and mustard yellow, while I love them in other areas of my life, my craft room, it just wasn't going to work out. So that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't know how much I covered in the last video, and I'm just going to show you what I have done. So originally I started out with white and gray furniture. That was painted with a white chalk paint, sorry, just like this little corner shelf here. So I'm not going to go into detail with everything, but I will give you a little image of what's around my room. So I'm using this shoe rack for my punches, which is great, except I'm out of room. And I'm really into punches lately. I use them a lot in my journal collections that I come out with. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find something different for those. That's something else I want to mention for anyone popping in on my channel. I do have an Etsy business, so in no way, shape, or form do I think anyone needs this many craft supplies. But because of my business and rotating through things on a monthly basis, yeah, I have to find a way to make it all fit, see it all so I don't forget what I have, and use it. Like that's the key for me, coming out with the kits that I come out with on a monthly basis. So anyway, yes, I run a business from my home, thus all the supplies. Plus I've been crafting for close to 20 years now, which is insane. Anyway, all right, so I'm using curtain rods, just the cheap Walmart curtain rods to hold my ribbon on this wall. I had it stored in a different way in my previous craft room. Again, all those links are down below so you can check that out if you're interested. But this was actually more affordable and will work in any space. So I love that. I painted them, and this yellow is the wrong color. I will be repainting them into a softer pastel yellow. But with the quarantine, I actually ordered my spray paint online, and yeah, it works for now, but probably sometime this summer I'll repaint those to match the other colors in my room. But just for those who might be interested, sorry for the shaking, I just hung them up like you would hang them up for a curtain, and it works fabulously. And because of the shape of this wall, you know, you can make them different sizes, which I love too. And you can sneak it in on a wall that otherwise you wouldn't have any use for, you know? So back here, stuck in this corner, yes, I have stuff hidden. I have some wallpaper pieces. I actually have a container holding some scrap fabric. My iron is back there. And then I have this basket of rolly stuff. Everything from contact paper to crepe paper. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try not to be too detailed. All right, so my mom, yay, she's given me so much great furniture for my craft space. And this scrapbook paper rack was one of them. I just spray painted it that ocean mist color. I'll leave a link for things in the description box down below if they're available, in case you're interested in checking them out. So this is holding all my paper pads. This is a cabinet my mom had actually given my daughter, and she was using it in her room, quit using it, so I took it. And it's just holding, like, okay, I have a lot of bulk trims, like I said, for my business. It's all painted shut now. So it's disorganized right now, but it's holding some crocheted tablecloths and trims. And I can hide it in there, and that makes me very happy. I got this little corner thing from my grandparents. I painted it with white chalk paint, and for now I just have things sitting up here, you know, an old cigar box I like the colors on, my Nuvo drops. This basket is empty, I just spray painted it. I have my little basket there that actually has just some cut up wallpaper scraps, and then, oh, I love that vintage toolbox that I found at Goodwill. And then, you guys, my mom gave me this awesome vintage jelly cabinet that's from an old farmhouse, and I love it so much. And I just painted it turquoise. Yes, let me open that up. First, I just have some lovely friend mail my friend Monet sent me, which I just think is gorgeous, on some vintage cigar boxes and things. So in this cabinet right now, again, don't judge, I am housing doilies and cut apart pieces and applique pieces. So again, I'm loving the turquoise and the pink baskets from Dollar Tree. I wish we could find things like that easier because I need more, right? I have a bunch of white doilies up here, color doilies sorted out here. This is like things that I've already been cutting apart and working on and can make little snippets on. This is like old labels from my old craft room that I made. I got a really nasty comment on that video once that I ordered those and how wasteful I was. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I made them myself. But anyway, I need to take those labels off and make them again. More little cut apart pieces, some tulle and appliques. And then I have bags of doily cut aparts that have been snipped already that I can grab and use on my monthly collections. I love this cabinet. It is metal, so I have plans for sticking some beautiful, you know, magnets and things on it because I think that'll be super cute. So up on top of this bookcase, I have an old canister out of a kitchen. It was brown, and because it's cracked, it wasn't really worth anything. So I wanted it to match my room, and I just spray painted it pink. This is a container from Michael's. I just have some embellishments in. This vintage suitcase has vintage ephemera, and I will, in my craft room tour that I come out with, hopefully this year, I will share, you know, in more detail. So down here, this is messy, you guys. I didn't really pick up. This is just my life. This is how it is. I have these containers. These are from Aldi. You can get them occasionally when they get them in. It's usually like once a year if you keep your eye out for them. I haven't seen them in a while, but they're great little acrylic organizers. These are Dollar Tree organizers, and I've shared it before that how I keep mine together are with foam tape. You can see there in the back. If you just stack them on top of each other, they have a habit of making like a rainbow shape and they don't stay up straight. But if you put some foam tape squares in the back of them and stick them together, they are straight, and I love that. Okay, so then there's just some messy stuff stuck around. This is my family's old business, and that's an old cup. So I like to keep that up there. But anyway, my paintbrushes and all of that kind of stuff is there. Some clips. This is a set of Mary Mushroom canisters that, I need to find a home for, but I love them. Okay, moving down. This is how I'm storing my acrylic stamps. This is a container that I picked up at TJ Maxx, and it fits, these wider stamps great. And then I am in love with these for my stamps. These are the pop can refrigerator organizers from Dollar Tree. They are all over my room, and I love them. So I'm keeping my smaller stamps here, and it's great because you can really flip through and see what you have. And then this one has just my smaller stuff. So that's that shelf. And moving down, I have a lot of thrifted items in my room, and amazingly, this is one of them. It is a 3-drawer wooden box. I have no idea what it was for, but it fits perfect on this bookcase. And I just keep, now see, I'm kind of going through stuff, but I don't mean to. I just keep like my paints and things I would use, together in there. I don't have a lot of that kind of stuff. Those are some little embellishments I made that need to find a home. These are the slim organizers from Michaels. And then down here, I just keep a lot of vintage ephemera that I know I like to grab and use in my journals. So this is a vintage mail sorter thing, and I just have some papers and things in there. This is a dish rack from Dollar Tree that you would use in the cabinets, and again, it fits wonderfully on the shelf. These shelves are from Walmart, by the way, and they are, is it the Mainstays brand I think I bought? But yeah, I love them. Love the dish rack sorter again, and I just have my cards going on back there. And then I have paper. Oh my goodness. But this is all like 8.5 by 11 size paper. These are some vintage library magazine sorters. Again, my mom gave me. Spray painted them pink, and I have all my various smaller papers sorted in there. I love these zipper pouches from Dollar Tree. All right, and then under the window, because I have to make room of every inch of space, right now I just have this 12 by 12 sized. It must be a little bigger because it fits 12 by 12 papers in it. Sometimes the office section at Target will have those. I got those years ago on clearance. I have 2 of them. And I just have, again, more paper. This is 12 by 12 cardstock. Stuff stacked up there, vintage stationery boxes, because I just love the boxes and I don't want to get rid of those. So yes, moving on. Okay, and then I have this wall, and these are cube organizers from Amazon. I wanted to have my things visible, and yet I needed a cheap option for my craft room. So this was that for me. I live nowhere near an IKEA. I have 3 of them in like the shape of a triangle, all about 3 hours away from me. And I'm like smack dab in the middle. It's weird. But anyway, yes, I will not be going to IKEA anytime soon. So I was looking for affordable options to do my craft room. And these cubes, honestly, I love them. So the thing that I love about these cubes is that you can use zip ties and make your own shelves in them. So 1 cube here, and then I add in my own shelf. So I'm just going to show you guys this really quick. I will link what I bought in the description box down below from Amazon, because you have to make sure that you get the right size. You don't want to get the ones that are smaller by 12 than 12 by 12, because then your paper pads won't fit, which is really what I needed to make sure. So I think these might be like 14 inches. But I know they're bigger than 12, so I'll just link down below what I purchased. So up on top, I love my vintage picnic baskets, and this is what I have so far. This is a really big basket, and right now I just keep different craft supplies that aren't related to paper crafting. I keep them all in there. I have some personal pieces of vintage fabric in that basket that's for my own projects, and that one is empty. Yay! This basket is full of stickers. You guys know the video on my channel where I shared my sticker organization. Well, I de-stashed a lot of those stickers. I also gave a lot to my niece and learned my lesson about buying stickers. And I just used the same filing system in that basket and made them all fit. So anyone who might be interested in seeing that previous video, down below. This picnic basket is just holding a lot of flowers, and yeah, that's flowers too. This is just a regular basket, and it's just literally holding stuff. Stuff, projects. All right, so I will go through all of my craft supplies in my craft room tour when I get to it, because again, I was going with darker colors. These baskets were at the Dollar Tree this past fall, but now I don't want those darker colors anymore. So I will be swapping out those baskets, maybe spray painting them. But yeah, I will definitely go through all of this later because that's the kind of craft room tour I like to watch. But I just want to mention again, these bins at the Dollar Tree, I love them. First of all, this rack, I lined them with the cutting mats from Dollar Tree. You get 2 in a package, the larger size plastic sheet mats. Make it to where anything slides awesome in these, which I prefer and I love. Otherwise, there's feet on the bottom of these to help them stay, because obviously you don't want them sliding around in your fridge. But those little things get hooked on these bars, and these little plastic sheets help with that. Again, the can holders from Dollar Tree, and then these are the smaller refrigerator bins from Dollar Tree, and I love them too, you guys. I love them. So this is Project Life cards, and they fit wonderfully in here. And what I love is the fact that, you know, it just all fits. And I know it's messy. Lynette, clean up before you have company. Anyway, this is 1 cube. I've put a shelf in the middle with zip ties, added my little plastic sheets, and then I can fit 2 can organizers and then 4 regular refrigerator bin organizers. And I just have them sorted out in a way that makes sense to me. Those are my Maggie Holmes ones. I don't want to get mixed up with the others. But, you know, I am in love with this, and it works great for me. So you can see how I have them split up around in different ways. This is a taller basket that just holds flower packages. I put this shelf up a little higher just to make enough room for things that I would put in those bins. This used to have a box here, but I actually reorganized and I have that whole open space. But you can see how I put the shelves on different levels depending on what, you know, I was keeping on that shelf. Also, you can see that this will hold these iris bins from the craft store, which is awesome because a lot of times we like to sort our stuff out that way. So yes, again, I will go through all of this stuff in my craft room tour. I will mention though that we ended up taking an old piece of trim that we had in the garage. My floor is kind of swoopy up here, and this rack, it wasn't going to fall, but it was tilted out from the wall. And I was asking my husband, you know, to attach it to the wall, but instead he just put this piece of trim down here, and it took care of the problem. It stands up straight now. This chair I painted with chalk paint. Now it doesn't match my room. It's going to get a facelift, but right now it's a cat bed. I don't know if any of you are multiple cat owners like me. Everybody needs their spot, and they need to stay off of mama's desk. So that is one cat spot. All right, and coming around the corner, you can see that I like to hang up little charms and things on those metal things. They're fun. I have this cabinet. Oh my gosh, I paid $9 for it at Goodwill. It is an old cabinet that I could tell a man used in his garage. It was very grimy. I had to clean it up. I used a gray chalk paint on it, and before I open it up, I just had these little items sitting up here, some jars, you know, sorting some things out. My VW bus mugs, with some pens and things. I did not paint the inside of the cabinet because I thought that was overkill. I had no reason for that. But I couldn't believe how perfect this shelf was for me. It is skinny, you know, it wasn't a kitchen cabinet. It was definitely in his garage, and it fits all of my sprays and paints beautifully, and I love it. Like, you can see how well those paints fit in there. It just makes me happy. This whole cabinet makes me happy. But yes, the key is going all the time and make sure that you try to look at things differently than how they appear, because this cabinet was so grimy, I almost didn't buy it. I was like, where am I going to put this? But my husband hung it up on the wall for me, and it's perfect. It's one of my favorite things. I just have a basket down here. This is going to sound terrible, but it has seasonal washi in it. It's not full all the way. It's all like organized and stuff. My vintage typewriter. I have a couple carts. This one has journals that I'm currently working in and ephemera that I'm working with. I'll pull that cart out of the way. I have some more of those cheap curtain rods. Again, this is something I did differently in my last craft room, but these cheap rods work awesome. Same little plastic bins holding washi tape. Shelf up here. I plan on wrapping them. These white shelves that I have, my plans are to wrap them with contact paper. So I gotta find that pattern that I like. And I'm sorry about the window and everything. It's a very sunny day here. So this is the wall that we're moving on to. Like I said, Cape Cod house. So this is the shape, and we're getting into the nitty gritty part of the craft room now, where all the work happens. So I have a shelf on this side of the wall and that side of the wall. I wanted him to, you know, stagger them, but yeah, I plan on wrapping those. Some more vintage canisters. My little owl canister, I loved him. He was mustard yellow and brown, but he has a giant crack running down him. He isn't worth anything. So because of that, I just decided, you know what, he's gonna match my craft room. And I'm so happy with him when he's pink. He's so cute. My Mary mushrooms are probably gonna leave the room eventually. I don't know, I love them. But they're all holding buttons that are sorted out in different ways. Washi. My little cutters, my extra cutters. This is just a cheapy bookshelf that I've painted. And I have a lot of like, these are journals that I'm working on, die cutting stuff. Yeah, randomness. This dresser is actually holding all my trims and laces. Just to get an idea, I have some baskets from the Dollar Tree and laces sorted out in here. Mostly vintage stuff is what I keep in here. This drawer's pretty messy, Lynette. I go through a lot of rolls of seam binding because of my monthly collections. And then the bottom just has some rolls down there. So getting into this side of the craft room, I do plan on repainting those handles. This was my husband's dresser. And actually before that, it was my uncle's dresser when he was a boy. So it's been around a long time, but it's a nice smaller size, so it works well in here. And then just moving across, these two drawer things were from Aldi. Again, they'll get them about once a year. I have two of them holding various things that I use all the time. I'll go through those in a different video. But mine were tilting away from each other. I zip tied them together and now I'm pretty happy. I love these picnic baskets for silverware and things. So I pick those up at the thrift store when I see them, and I just like sorting my pens and markers and pencils in there. That little basket, that's from Hobby Lobby. I just made this out of thrifted things. I love it. Yeah, so anyway, I want that to be on my desk, but I haven't found out how to make it fit yet. And then you guys, getting into like where the work happens, and it is work. Crafting happens, of course, but I do a lot of work. I have to have a way to film my videos. I had a different setup in here originally, and I don't think that made it on camera. And I was so frustrated with it because I couldn't keep my lights up permanently. And this is the sacrifice of beauty to make YouTube videos, but it is what it is. And it's very functional for me now and I like it. So my big studio lights are up all the time, which is wonderful because I can just pop them on. My work desk is a large table, like an office size table that I've added contact paper to. And for now, I have my camera arm thing on that little shelf, which I don't want to keep. I want to have some kind of block on the wall itself that's a little sturdier. But this is my workstation. My sewing table is a vintage typewriter table that, again, I picked up at Goodwill for less than $10. And then I'll just pull that out of the way. I have a basket of avocado dyed fabrics here right now that I'm working with in a project. This is an old plastic bin that I, again, previously labeled in my old craft room and have some scrapbook paper there in the front. I need to redo all that for this current craft room. This is a vintage cassette tape holder, and I've had a hard time. I picked it up at the thrift store. It's huge. I'm thrilled with it. And all of the previous ones I had found wouldn't fit the Tim Holtz ink pads, but this one does, and I'm thrilled because it holds so many. So I have that up on the wall. That's an old vintage spice rack that I'm thinking about painting, but I probably won't because I love the little daisies on there, and it just has some threads that I can grab for when I'm using my sewing machine. And getting around behind the light, this is the part that is not aesthetically pleasing to me, but sometimes you just have to have functionality. My little jars with my little things. And up on this shelf right now, it's a mess. I have some thrifted beads. I think this was like a vintage seat cover, you know, like from the 70s and 80s. I love those beads. I got those at the thrift store. My other Mary Mushroom jar, my vintage strawberry shortcake, my vintage Holly Hobby cup that was mine when I was little. Anyway, there's like random things up here. But yeah, my big threads mostly is what that's for. So pulling my chair back, I didn't even empty the trash bin before I did this. I just decided I just need to get it done. So this is another short wall. Over here in this corner, a lot of these plastic containers were in my previous craft room. So of course I'm reusing what I have. Again, I need to fix the labels and the paper in the front and all that because I do like having paper in the front of that. It just kind of hides some of the storage. The things that I keep down here are things that I don't reach for all the time. So it's nice to have them, you know, covered up a little bit. It looks less cluttery. But this is a big table, like I mentioned. I have contact paper on it, and it's beautiful. I love it. I will link that down below. I picked it up on Amazon. This is a bamboo closet shoe rack. Again, because my table is so large, it fits wonderfully. I love it. I might end up painting it. I haven't decided yet. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to paint that and that. I probably will. But it just keeps some more items that I'm reaching for constantly at my fingertips, which is great. You can see that I have the Dollar Tree bin here, the Dollar Tree dish rack holding my planner, my address book, my notebook. So I love that. My little tiny, Ray Dunn ornament. A basket with my current devotionals, a little traveler's notebook that I made. These are some vintage wooden domino bins that are holding some things that I use. An old picnic basket, again, thrifted. My mom gave me that jar. And then what I love about this is I can keep my things plugged in. I didn't used to be able to do that. So my Canon selfie is sitting up there. She is sitting there. We won't say her name out loud. My little charging port. These are Dollar Tree bins. I always love these things, and I'm just keeping some embellishments and things that I might reach for. Something else, because of my monthly collections, I use a lot of vintage playing cards, and I have these little cases left over, and they fit awesome in this Dollar Tree basket. So I'm using them. That one's pretty empty. I'm using them to hold little pieces that I might use in my journal that I might want to reach for in my personal journaling. And then my journal, my Bible, my next devotional that I'm going to be working in. And then these are my skinny washies that I have in these little containers from Dollar Tree. And then I love this because I can just fit my inks under there. Again, I recently purchased this. I'll link it in the description box down below. And then moving around, this is a shelf from Hobby Lobby. I moved it up from my previous craft room. These two little white letter bins are both thrifted at different times, and I love them. I'm planning on repainting them, and they just have some things in it that I constantly reach for when I'm journaling. You know, some recycled mail envelopes I'm going to use, scrap stained paper and notepads, glue sticks, ephemera pieces are up there. I love this little bin. This is a little, you know, vintage basket bin thing. Love that. I'm being detailed sometimes, I guess, but there's another one of those 12 by 12 cubes from Target. And I like it here because I feel like I'm still sorted a little bit, and I just have like corner punches, glues, and tapes. These are my Fabri-Tac glues that I have to finish using. You know how they get annoying at the end. My mat right now for my glue gun is a Dollar Tree cutting mat. Those are the smaller ones. A dish that was my grandmother's, has some of my paper clips. My mom gave me this, and it is not an organizer for pens and things, but it's a old Pampered Chef organizer, like for kitchen utensils. It's plastic, but it's fabulous. It rotates just like the craft one does. I know she found those at the thrift store, so it's something to keep our eyes open for. Old Pampered Chef organizers. Okay, so I have two of these things stacked on top of each other back here, which I can't handle it almost because of the aesthetics. Backing up, you can see, it's just, I don't use my wooden stamps all that often. So for now, I've kept them in these plastic bins and I've sorted them out. And then if I show you down in the ugly corner, I have, this is the skinnier drawers that you can get. Those are the 3 plastic bins, and they have ribbon in them. All right, we're almost back to the beginning. Another slanted wall. So my husband added 2 shelves for me. These are out of my old craft room. I love the pink tinted shoebox bins from Dollar Tree because you can see through them but not completely clear. Like, I don't know, I just like them so much better. Again, I need to still fix the labels on that, but that's holding different things. There's vintage laces up here. There's a lot of twine, chipboard pieces, nature embellishments. Sorry, I'm looking instead of pointing off into the sky. Anyway, there's embellishments up there. These baskets are out of an old furniture piece, and for now, that's what I'm using up here to hold adhesives and future embellishment packs for kits that I have. Vintage envelope things are here that I want to make kits out of. And then a stack of things that don't belong there, but it's, yeah, what it is, I guess. So moving down, I have this stand-up desk. Again, I love this. My mom found it for me for free. They were throwing it out, and I gave it new life, which is what I love. So it's almost like a stand-up counter like you would use in a shop or something. I love it. It fits great here. I spray painted it gray. There's actually a metal front there on the other side. And this section can like come down to this level, I guess, if you wanted to sit there. I keep it at the same height. And it's old. It's not completely flat with each other, which is kind of annoying for a workspace, but I love it. It works awesome. I have another cart here. My carts, I actually got at Target. I love them. They're great. And I keep my planner stickers. These are like, this is bad. These are the stickers that I know I reach for all the time in my journaling and in my planning. If I move this stuff, I can show you guys. I have this old basket silverware tray in here, like you would put in your drawer for silverware. I love it. It's vintage, and it has all my like reach for washi. I love this. Love it, love it. Moving down, 2 baskets from the Dollar Tree fit great in here, and it has sticker books in it. Now here, this is a refrigerator bin that has like wider stickers, and these would not stay on the hook on the side. I had them like magnetized up here, but they keep falling. Dollar Tree wall stickers, which I love. and sticker books. So yes, that is my cart. And then this is a pretty messy area right now that I'm still working on. But yeah, I have like some cleaning supplies over there. I tried to foam tape my little electrical plug things up on the underside of the table, and my tape isn't strong enough and I can't go to the store and buy any. So right now it's just hanging there. But I bought this at the thrift store. It's like an old plastic organizer. I really love the size of it. Don't like the color at all, but I love it. So I don't know if I'm going to buy another one of these Recollections towers. I might replace this with one of those. We'll see. But for now, this works great for me. I actually really even like the under cabinet here and how it can fit some things. I'm fitting some mats in my cutter. There's some scrap tea stain paper again. I have tea stain paper. These I haven't really changed. That was from my previous craft room, and it kind of still has all the things. So obviously that works. And a lot of times with my monthly collections, when I'm working in them, I keep them sorted out in here. Like, this is my current collection that I'm going to start filming today. I'm so excited. So that's in here. And something that I love to do is keep the collection in here and throw items in here that I might use. That way I can sort and keep things organized as I go. And right now this one's empty and this one's empty. I have my cutting mats, my scoreboard, some Texas Roadhouse and Starbucks bags that I want to use in my junk journal, a roll of deli paper. I just kind of keep those bigger things stacked up there. And then I love this tower from Michaels. I really do. I think it's great. I don't need these bins. I learned later that an iris container will fit in there just great, but I do like them. So I don't have one up here. I have my coffee dyed paper in pieces that I'm working with, more dyed paper, the books that I use to poke holes in. And then I just have like sorted papers that I'm constantly reaching for. It's so hard when you're a junk journaler to sort all the papers, but you want to try to keep them organized, right? So that's what I love about this. This is all like dyed papers that I've done things to. Like this has some inking. Some of them are already stitched. So that makes sense in my brain. This is the grungy basket. I just did a video making a traveler's notebook cover with cardboard. And then I have like all the grungy pieces of paper in there. This one has like some tags that I've started creating, mixed media type tags, and some cut aparts I'm using. This one has like deli paper scraps and things. This one is all avocado dyed stuff. And then this one is all fairy journal related items because I'm planning on making some big fairy journals. All right, so that is that little section. Oh, and again, cat blanket, cat bed, designated cat bed. All right, and then coming across to the last wall. This is not a wall, but I have this little bookshelf up against the side of that stand-up desk. So it kind of brings, you know, my walls out a little bit, which is helpful. This is a bookshelf. It was my daughter's when she was a baby, and I think my mom thrifted it at some point. I love it because it's a nice wooden bookshelf. I've painted this thing a million times through my daughter's childhood, and now it's mine. So I have up here more washi. Again, more of my like favorite washies, and I have them all sorted out differently now, but these are from Michaels. These are the eyeglass cases on Amazon that a lot of people like, and I like that I can fit them on this shelf. So these are bigger, these are smaller, but they fit great across that bookshelf. I love that. These are little cosmetic organizer bags from the Dollar Tree, and I love them for sorting again. They're clear, which makes them great, and they're small. They fit on the shelf. So, you know, I keep like smaller paper pads with ephemera sets that I pick up at Tuesday morning. I really like sorting them out in here because then I can come over here and, you know, it's all together, which I appreciate. It just makes it easy. I can grab one, I can see what's in here. This is scrap cut up paper from dyeing. And then this shelf just houses 6x6 paper pads and papers cut 6x6 for my kits that I have left over. This basket has planner pages in it. All right, moving around. Vintage basket shelf that I picked up thrifting. Love it. I'm really excited to decorate this wall. I don't want to add too much functionality. I need a little bit of decorative space. So when we can go shopping again, I'm excited. I plan on doing, I don't know, some little picture decorative thing there. More thrifted baskets. This is a bookshelf from Walmart. And then this bookshelf holds my personal journals and things. All of my junk journals that are finished are downstairs on a shelf. I don't have room for them up here. There's quite a few of them. These are journals that have been made for me that I'm kind of hoarding. I know I should use them, and I will, but I kind of hoard them because they're special to me. Notebooks that I use, my punch, planner covers, traveler's notebook covers, a basket of things that I want to add to my junk journal. And the longer they sit there, I need to get them in a journal. That could make like a whole journal in itself. Maybe I should just make a journal out of it. This just feels messy, but it has like covers. My daughter was making that and didn't finish it. Those are my daughter. My traveler's notebook covers, again, this is one I made, and some books, traveler's notebook inserts I made. And then, yes, vintage books. My journaling Bible, old planners that I'm done with, but I just like to keep them. That's all of that. And then on the bottom shelf are books that either I'm using in a specific journal or I love the best, like nature books that I love the most, little things I know I would reach for myself, but also when I'm creating large journals. So you guys, that is pretty much it. I hope the lighting was okay in this video. I hope it wasn't too shaky or anything. I really thought I was just at a good point to share with you guys where I'm at. I'm sure now I feel like a lot of it won't change, you know, that I really have the bones of what I'm going for and what works for me in this space, which is fantastic. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing some more polishing, you know, some more painting and decorating. And I just love to have things organized and in its place. It helps me feel more creative and like I can get things done if I'm just in a space that makes me feel happy. And this space is definitely doing it for me. I'm in love. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I do look forward to sharing another room tour with you in the future that's a little more detailed, even though this one turned out to be more detailed than I had planned, but that's okay. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.